strategy. Do you tell your clients a major distinction between like the free LinkedIn versus paying for the professional? Do you tell them all to do that, or do you see a big difference in when the LinkedIn is the free version versus the?
I personally do the paid version myself just because it gives you that badge of like, okay, this guy's really committed to the platform. And there's definitely some benefits to it. I do a lot of publishing on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a blog publishing format. And I've written now, I think, 65 articles on LinkedIn. Yeah, and I've definitely gotten business off of that. Like, definitely. Yes.
The thing about LinkedIn is it doesn't matter whether you're paid or not paid. It's having a strategy to use LinkedIn. So many people have a LinkedIn profile and there's no strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
right.
The first thing you do when you want to sign up for a LinkedIn profile is not sign up for a LinkedIn profile. Sit down with a piece of paper and a pad of pen and write.
Right.
And think it through so that your LinkedIn profile is strategic.
Yeah. I'll just tell you
It doesn't matter because you can get a lot of use from the free LinkedIn profile.
Right.
And if you look at LinkedIn profiles, most of them are crap. 95% of the LinkedIn profiles are really bad.
Yeah. Look, I can give you a hammer and it can sit on a shelf and never build a house. So it's not the tool. Do you have a strategy to use the tool? My personal marketing strategy for my business is 9 pages typed. I mean, it's detailed. So I don't, it's not just like, oh, I want to reach out. No, it's like, this is my target audience. These are my strategies. This is the content I will create. This is at the rate I will create it. These are the needs of my audiences. Like it's an actual strategy.
So on the LinkedIn, I'm guilty of that.
We'll have to do a whole seminar on LinkedIn, won't we?
But in order for that to be effective as business lead generation engine, is it really the blogs that you're posting that has been proven? Assuming that you roll it up properly.
I'm going to diverge for 5 minutes on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to tell you where I've had my success on LinkedIn. Number one, I took care to make sure my profile was filled, and there's options where you can download your videos, your white papers, your slideshows, all that's on my LinkedIn profile. If you go there, it's more than just my profile. You can access my YouTube videos, my white papers. Like, it becomes my de facto website.
Well, they also have company pages.
You can build a company page as well. But so now I go to the LinkedIn platform and now I start publishing articles. That starts building followers. As I get followers, I import their emails from LinkedIn. My email list is now 4,500. My social media followers are now 25,000. I'm like, how often do I promote on social media?
All the time.
I'm 24/7. I'm like incessant. If you're on my email list, I pity you. If you follow me on Twitter, I pity you. You're going to hear all my libertarian rants. You're going to hear about what I'm eating or drinking. I'm like vocal. And it upsets a few people, and I don't care. Because 98% of the people that I want to reach, I'm reaching, right? So I just let the flag fly of who I am and what I do and all the benefits that I'm helping people with, or like, hey, I found this great article on Harvard Business Review. Check it out. It doesn't even have to be my content. But it's like, God, Ed's always sharing this interesting information. So I want to keep following him because, yeah, once in a while he sends an annoying email about him, but there's also this other stuff he's sharing with me, right? And that's how I've been.
Does the annoying stuff about you, do you feel like that builds trust with a certain person?
Yeah, yeah.
That you're building a connection, personal, in addition to...
Yeah, because I'm transparent. I don't hide who I am, what I do, because philosophically it feels right for me. That's just who I am. Just like, this is how I feel about this country. Whether you like my opinion or not, I don't care. I have a First Amendment right to speak my mind. Boom. There we go. And it's like, well, if you hire Ed, Ed's going to at least tell you the truth about how he feels. We may not like what he says, but one thing we know about Ed is he won't hold back on his opinion. So if I go into a business and I think your brand sucks, I'm going to say, your brand sucks. And what I have found in that honesty is most people like, thank you for saying, because everybody's been brown-nosing me and not giving me a real opinion. I'm like, yeah, if we're going to move the needle here and really make your company relevant, let's start with some honesty. It's like, what's the first step of the 12-step program? I'm an alcoholic. I mean, you got to confront the truth, right? In this case, my brand sucks. Do you know what I mean? I need to change it. But with that recognition comes the fact that he can change it. So let's get...
It's also working because the frequency of exposure, because a lot of times there's that rule of 7x or something, like you have to see it 7 times because people mentally can't grab that person and associate what he offers. So you sending multiple things.
Exactly. And one of the words that kept coming up around this circle was consistency. You've built your reputation on consistency. Shouldn't your content be consistent? Right? Look, if you get on my email list and I consistently send you great content and I really put some thought into it and go, what's really going to help the people that I serve? Sometimes you may not like what I say. Sometimes you're like, now that I find valuable. So I'm willing to stay on the email list because 1 out of 2 times or 1 out of 4 times, Ed's going to deliver some great insight to me. And so one day, it may be 38 emails later, a year later, you're like, we got to do something about our brand. What's that guy that keeps emailing me? Oh, yeah. That Edwin guy. Let's call him. You see? And I've literally had people that have called me saying, okay, I've been getting your emails for 6 months. I think we're ready. I'm like, you're on my email list? I didn't even know who you are. Because I just imported their email from LinkedIn and was just, I'm pretty indiscriminate who I'll talk to. Because I just figure if I just talk to enough people often enough, I'm going to get business, and it does work.
How do you balance that more shotgun kind of approach that I think you're describing with the more rifle approach that Jeff uses with his plastics-only niche?
Well, this is what I would do. If I'm importing my emails from LinkedIn, he's only friending plastics dudes, right?
But he only talks plastic.
Right. So he goes, okay, I'm going to go on LinkedIn and look for people within the plastics industry. So now I have 2,800 followers that are plastics related. I'm going to import their emails. I'm going to post on LinkedIn as well as send them interesting articles, my blogs, about plastics to the plastics people. And if he does that often enough, and if that content is on point to the right people, guess what happens? He's going to move from expert to authority. There's something above expert. It's called authority. And that's what you want to become, right? There's a lot of experts out there, but there's not a lot of authorities.